Hi everyone, it's Dr. Peasington here, and as some of you might know, Titanfall is released in the next few days, so I thought I'd take a quick look at what we've learned from the beta and what we're expecting from the full game. I think when you look at the beta as a whole, we have to chalk it up as a very successful beta. There were no major underlying issues, it felt very polished. It really did feel like a complete game. I mean, having played some of EA's other recent titles, such as Battlefield 4, of course during the beta it obviously didn't feel finished, and well, 6 months down the line it still doesn't. Titanfall, however, I don't think will have these sort of issues. As I said, it felt really polished and really complete. Now, part of that comes from the smoothness in which you move. I don't just mean the fluidity in which you can use the parkour elements, but also how responsive it felt, where the pilot felt like he was reacting in time with your movements, rather than having that lead boots feeling that other games such as COD Ghost and especially BF4 have. Also, I never had that feeling that I'd been cheated when I died. It always felt that I had made the mistake, or that the other guy was simply better. Of course, I'm not including being killed by a smart pistol in that, because, well, that obviously sucks, and personally, I think that the enhanced smart pistol you get through the bone cards is slightly overpowered. Perhaps adding some sort of warning that you're being locked on would help, and, well, we haven't seen all the loadout options yet, so there may be a way to counteract that, we just don't know yet. Now, to digress slightly, I also really enjoyed the wall running and use of jetpacks. It adds a slightly different element to the game, and more importantly, one that works, as it opens up areas of the map which, in your traditional FPS, would normally just be for decoration. Now, talking of maps, if the internet is to be believed, we can expect 15 maps at launch, which is, well, a lot. Most games nowadays release with about 6 maps, and usually a couple of those aren't really up to scratch. Now, although we don't know how the map setups will work, with that many maps available, Titanfall should have plenty of maps that people will enjoy and can afford to have a few duds without everyone screaming out for extra DLC. It will be interesting though to see if there are some maps with more space, as quite often with the beta maps, if there are a few Titans in the same area, it soon became congested and you ended up tripping up over your own teammates a bit too much. Now I'd like to take a little look at how the game is balanced. Not in terms of the servers, I'll be touching on that a bit later, but in terms of the balance between the pilots, Titans and AI. The addition of AI has been one of the more questioned decisions from Respawn, but personally I welcome them. Whilst the grunts aren't going to trouble you, if you have a few Spectres locking onto your Titan, they can cause you some damage, or at least take your shield out. The fact that they also give you attrition points and time off your Titan spawn make them relevant as well, plus, let's face it, the maps would be pretty empty without them. Also, quite simply, they give you a sense of scale. Now, having played games like Hawken and Mech Warrior, you can sometimes lose the sense of scale as everything is the same size. The other day I was playing Hawken and I kicked over a lorry. It was only that action which reminded me how big these mechs are meant to be. With Titanfall, because of the extra AI, you always have the reminder of the sheer size of the Titans, and it does give you that much more epic feel to the game. With the Titan versus Pilot gameplay, I really do feel like that there are enough different areas in the maps we've seen so far that you're not going to get instantly squashed, and the anti-Titan weapons we've seen as well, they can be very effective as long as you choose when to use them and where to use them from with a little bit of care. Now finally, the Titan versus Titan gameplay. Well, we don't really know too much about this. As the beta only had the Atlas available, we have a fair idea of what like versus like Titan gameplay is all about, but when you add other Titan models into the mix like the Strider or the Ogre, then we really don't know how that balance is going to work. With a full release, I'd expect to see people playing a bit more tactically with their Titans, which could add an extra element to the frenetic gameplay. I think that the servers should also be discussed. Firstly, there'll be no private servers, and teaming up with a few friends could be problematic unless you start a group, and of course this is limited to the number of people per side. Also, the matchmaking in the beta was very poor. Several times I saw 6 level 14s come up against another team who are all below level 3. However, this may have been a feature of the beta and may well be fine for full release. Private servers are something that Respawn have suggested that they may add after release, so that's something we can keep our eyes out for. In summary, I had immense fun playing the Titanfall beta, and unless Respawn really drop the ball, it looks ready for a problem-free release. I hadn't made my mind up whether or not to buy the game before I played the beta, but since then I've pre-ordered my copy and I'm looking forward to the release. It's just a shame that in a digital world we still have staggered release dates. Titanfall though really looks like a breath of fresh air in a genre which has begun to feel a bit stale lately, and I think it will force certain other titles to step up their game. Anyway, that's enough from me for now. Don't forget to leave a comment, let me know what you're looking forward to, or indeed worried about for the Titanfall release. I hope you enjoyed the video, take it easy, and I'll see you the next time.